Hello and good morning. It's me, your old pal Deuce, here to talk with you and love you and have a great time. And we're going to do so much fun stuff today, and it's going to be friggin' incredible. So welcome in, get on in here. It's so nice to be with you on Twitch and on YouTube and on all of the streaming services that exist in the world. Rev Deuce is just going to start getting ready here, and that's going to be incredible. So watch as Rev Deuce just starts getting ready here, and that's going to be incredible. We're so grateful to have everybody here who's on Substack and who's on all the stuff. You know what I mean? So welcome in, come on in. We are going to have a great day. You are going to chat in the Discord. You're going to come into the Discord. You're going to chat with Rev Deuce. That's going to be incredible. Everyone's excited about that. Now, are we streaming or what? We are indeed. So welcome, get on in here. We'd love to talk to you, especially if you're in the Substack chat, which is the most neglected chat in the Mega Tub of Joy. That is true. You are here. This is a religion that I started in 2014 based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy after my niece bought me an improv class because she thought I looked sad. And I learned that our God is fear. Fear is our God. And so what we do here is we work on our relationship with fear at all times. That's what we do in this space. Now, I realize that I've already made some mistakes. And so I'm just going to correct those mistakes right now. Why don't you type in your sources of information into the chat while we wait for good old Deucey to get ready here. So why don't you type your sources of information? Can you prove to me that your source of information is objective? I highly doubt it, because there's no such thing as objectivity in journalism. But what there is such a thing is love, support, commitment, giving, connection, gratitude, and energy. Did you know that all we are sacks of energy, light beams from the sky, and we catch it by eating or drinking? We are literally just the sun's energy seeking to vibrate on different frequencies, and yet we find it so much easier to judge and to hate in this world than we find it capable of loving and supporting and giving to each other. And so we want to start off every single time that we are in the tub of joy, in the Mega Church of Joy, beaming to you live from Boca Raton, where it's always 69. We like to start off with the Daily Dose. And then we're going to get into reading the news with Deuce. We are going to do all of the things that you see on the screen there. You can do any of them at any time, so that's exciting. So please just type into the chat what you would like us to do, and we're going to do it. It's kind of crazy that way. And of course, if you are a MAGA person, we would love to talk to you about your sources of information, because all of our problems in this world are the result of our information ecosystem and our inability to play and connect like when we were children. We grow up and we walk in fear's patterns of doubt, of shame, of violence, bigotry, inadequacy, guilt, abuse, and judgment at all times, because that is the lesson that we are taught when we are born into this world. Fear is our God. He's a giant dickhead. Do not be a dick. That is the only rule in this space. Let me hear from you in the chat. Marley Paris is here, and we love her so much, and we're so grateful for her. So let's kick off the day with the Daily Dose. We do this every single weekday, 9 to 11, and we're so grateful that you're here. So this is a little prayer that I cooked up, and it's about how we all can go throughout our day, regardless of if we are an adherent of the Mega Church of Joy or not. Okay, welcome. You are always on the Mega Church of Joy. You are always welcome here. You are always a member. So here we go. Judy Locke, hello, LPC, and Kurjadjist, welcome. We love to have you here in the Substack. Self, today I endeavor to be a better teammate than yesterday. I vow to keep it simple, to listen better, commit harder, and to give more expertly. It is my joyous burden to make those around me appear as rock stars and support the ideas of others. I will move past obstructions, drop insecurities, and put trust in myself and others. I will attempt to emotionally connect with whomever I meet. I say this in the spirit of best intentions. Yes, and. Now, ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between and outside. We are here to love you and support you. If you are dealing with fear and anxiety today, we cannot wait to talk to you about your fears and your anxieties. We cannot wait to support you and love you and lift you up, because that is something that we do here as well. Now, I am learning that I cannot scroll through the chat. Oh, excuse me. Ignore that. Do not listen to that. Okay. Now, I am learning that I cannot scroll up in the chat, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't start chatting vociferously. Now, here's another problem I'm encountering. Is this too small if I make this small? Is this too small on the screen for people? Hold on one second. You'll see what the heck I'm talking about. Marley, maybe you could tell me, is this too small? I made it smaller. Now, we're here in the tub, and we are going to start going through the news. Do you want to go through the news with Deuce? Oh, yeah, I can't wait. Okay, great. Here we go. Let's see. Let's get to here, and then we got to go over to here, and then we got to go. Oh, and it worked automatically. Well, gosh, by golly, that's incredible. And now we could watch movies. We could watch The Brainwashing of My Dad by Jen Sanko, which is a great movie that would contextualize everything that's happening in our world for us. Or we can just start to go through the news. So that's what we're going to do. And if at any time you want to join live and talk to Deuce about your sources of information, that would be the most exciting thing for Deuce to talk about, because that's what Deuce loves to talk about. And yes, I am Deuce, and I'm referring to myself in the third person. What a maniac. All right, let's get it started. Let's kick it off. We are going to start going through the tabs, people. We're going through the tabs. Do you have a fear? Okay, Marley says it's still readable. Emily, welcome. You are in the tub with Rev Deuce, and we are talking about the news. So Mother Jones is reporting about who better to lead a counterterrorism center than someone who has aided and supported the right-wing paramilitary movement. So that's something that's happening in our country. And our LPC, what this is, so LPC is over here in the Substack chat. We're so grateful for you. What this is, LPC, is both comedy, both parody, and both deadly serious, all at the same time. Can you even friggin' believe it? So this is a religion that I created in 2014 based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy. That is energy, support, commitment, giving, connection, and gratitude. And I think you will agree with me that we are so divided in this world because we find it so much easier to judge and to hate than to love and to support. And so what we do here is we listen to people's fears if they want to share their fears, and we tell them about how to work on their relationship with fear. Now, because we are all so full of fear and being divided by people who are fearful dickheads themselves, the oligarchs and billionaires who inundate us all the time with the means of communication that they own, they tune their algorithms to push fear on us, to push division on us. And so what we realize is that half of our country is on one information stream and another half of our country is on another. And that is a disinformation stream, a propaganda stream built by right-wing billionaires over the last 60 years. And they're so successful that if you tell someone who's a MAGA person, and we love all people, and everyone's doing the best they can with what they have, and everyone is looking to satisfy their need for comprehension, community, and control. But if you tell a MAGA person, which we love a MAGA person, we want to support everyone. We do not want to be calling each other maggots and lib-ards and shouting across each other in the face of this division. But when you tell a MAGA person that the disinformation is coming from the right, and also when you tell anyone that there's no such thing as a liberal left media in this country, there is a corporate commercialized system for informing the public that is the mainstream media. When you tell a MAGA person that there is a right-wing disinformation and propaganda ecosystem that they are plugged into, they will heavily reject that. Okay? And what we do here is we just want to get everybody on a fact-based source of information. And we have critiques of our mainstream media and our commercialized corporate system for informing the public. I'm an information nutritionist, so that's what's going on here. So we go through the news. We're happy to talk to anybody about their sources of information. And then we desperately ask people to spread and share all of the things that go on at publicenlightenment.com and all of the things that go on in the social media, and we want to grow this and build this. And this is a reaction to what we saw on TikTok Live. I've been banned from TikTok Live because I was live streaming the April 5th hands-off protests. I was banned for misinformation, which is insane. And so we're here and we're doing it, and we've got some friends and loved ones in the house. And if you could tell people about this, we do this every morning, and we go through the news, and we do other fun stuff. We sing songs. We do all kinds of cool stuff, right? You can see here on the screen right here, we got all the things that we do here. Okay, so we love you, LPC, and we want you to join. You can join live and talk to me on our Discord. It's not that hard. It may sound hard, but it's not that hard. I don't even know if you have to have a Discord. Do you, Marley? Tell me. I would love to know. But so we are kicking off the show today. So we're talking about the news. We're going through the news. Who better to lead a counterterrorism center than someone who has aided and supported right-wing terror? So that's nuts. And we're LPC, we're grateful that you agree with us. Okay, Gabbard's pick to run a counterterrorism center aided the start of a right-wing paramilitary group. See, Marley, that's a huge barrier to speaking with people, because we gotta. So Marley's saying in the chat. Oh, I guess you can all see that. Marley's saying in the combined Twitch and YouTube chat that she believes that someone does need a Discord account in order to talk to us. So we have a Discord, and I'm going to drop this into the Fact Warrior channel because I think that this is an important piece of information. And so what we are Fact Warriors, LPC. And we talk about with each other about how every time we're online, we need to be spreading fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values, because otherwise we are ski-rude. Okay, so normally we don't just read headlines, right? Everybody knows that 6 in 10 of Americans who see a headline online and a piece of news only read the headline before they share it with other people. So we don't like to do that, but what we are doing here is running through the news. So this is exciting. So Newsmax, now who wants me to pay them money? Newsmax defamed Dominion voting systems. So again, this speaks to what is happening on the right with the right wing and our loved ones and fellow MAGA Americans who consume what looks like news but is really just propaganda created for them to manipulate them into cheering for what's going on, the destruction of their country and the erosion of due process rights and other civil rights. So Newsmax defamed Dominion voting systems, and the ruling is going to come. I mean, they may settle before. That's what happened in some of the other cases. But the trial by jury to determine the damages is April 28th. Now, we know that Fox lied purposefully about the 2020 election, and they had to spend $750 million because they were found to have lied. Rupert Murdoch was found to be aware that the lies were being spread and to sanction them. All of the hosts, knew about the lies and were discussing them and saying that they needed to change reality for their audience because they were losing profit. I mean, that is a propaganda organization, is it not? So we are excited that more and more of the right-wing propaganda ecosystem is being exposed. But now if you are saturated and soaking in the disinformation ecosystem, you are not going to believe this. You believe that it was a tourist visit. You know what I mean? And that's NG, as my family used to say when my father was dying of cancer. Sorry, but that's true. We used to say not good, and we would say NG. Okay, let's keep moving on. Hey, Lane. Now, look, we are ready to talk to anybody. If they want to join us live via the Discord, that would be so amazing. We talk about your sources of information, and you can try to tell me if whether or not your information is objective or not, because at all times we are being bombarded across all sources of information in an information war. Did you know? Now, that is an incredible graphic, and I'm so proud of it. So check this out, everybody. The firm representing Dominion in the case against Newsmax, Sussman Godfrey, was targeted by a Trump executive order yesterday. Now, we don't necessarily love Dave Weigel in the tub, but he's a fact-based individual. Now, let's see. Sussman Godfrey, executive. And then is there another piece of news that you'd like to talk about that we're not talking about right now? So we always want to double check AI, but let's just move through this. President Trump signed an executive order targeting the law firm specifically, which is known for representing Dominion in its defamation case against Fox News. The order suspends security clearances for the firm's employees and restricts their access to federal buildings, reflecting Trump's ongoing effort to penalize firms that oppose his interests. So that's fascinating, right? So this law firm, white shoe law firm they call them, this white shoe law firm is ordered, they suspended their security clearance and restricted their access to federal buildings, which would limit thank you, Marley, which would limit people's ability, which would limit this law firm's ability to even do its business. That's pretty insane. That's not something that any of us should enjoy. So if we are MAGA folks, we want to know what you have to say about that, because that is not what you would want Joe Biden to be doing or any other non-MAGA president to be doing. So we want to talk with you about that. So please, if you're watching, we'd love to talk to you, especially if you're in the Substack chat. We'd love to hear you getting loud in that Substack chat. You know what I mean? So we're going through the news. So that is a disturbing development. Donald Trump is using the power of the presidency to weaponize and to destroy our country and to enrich himself. He just did a pump and dump scheme, which is insane. There is also the next level corruption of him with Justin's son. We can look into that. There's the next level corruption of Donald Trump putting a cryptocurrency in front of the White House, a bucket, saying, you can bribe me and you can just show me the receipt. You say, oh, that deposit for $25 million, that was you? Oh, now what do you want me to do for you with the power of the United States government? Does MAGA understand what's happening? And we want you to understand what's happening, MAGA. So don't believe fake Trump posts about George Soros paying protesters. Now, this is something that's going to be illuminating for all of us. And why doesn't everybody get active in those chats? That would be so much fun. We'd love to talk to you and experience what's going on with you. So I saw this. And so my rubric for any time we want to see some disinformation or see a piece of information and know if we're being disinformed or not, right? Hey, Nicole Del Salto, we are going through the news, and this is, look, we are being bombarded at all times in an information war, and people are trying to, foreign adversaries like Iran, China, Russia, they are trying to make memes that mimic any type of American and get us to, disengage from civic engagement, get us to not vote, get us to believe that there is a uniparty, get us to, basically have zero trust in any institutions and basically destroy American democracy. And we're seeing the result of that every single day. But so this was something that I saw, and I said, is this real? And I think we all need to chickadee check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. So I want to show you this screenshot. I want to show you this. So first of all, this is not a font that we're used to seeing. Do our eyes immediately perceive that this font is not really the font that's really used on any of these microblogging sites? So this is from Truth Social, allegedly, but it is not. And then it spreads more disinformation. Now, this disinformation kind of targets everyone. It targets people who are MAGA, and it targets people who are not MAGA. Hey, Shawnee, welcome. Get active in that chat, Sean. Tell people about this. There's basically 5 people watching, and that makes Rev Deuce really, really sad. So anyway, we got to grow this thing. This is the best programming on morning television. This is way better than anything Don Lemon could ever do. Let me tell you. I'll tell you what right now. Don Lemon isn't going to wear a Hawaiian shirt and drink coffee and wear cocaine sunglasses. You know what I mean? Don Lemon isn't going to improvise songs based on a suggestion of anything. Oh, whoops. Sorry, everybody. Which is right here on the menu for y'all. You can check it out at any time. We could do any of these things. And that would be so fun. Now, look, check this out. We're looking at a piece of disinformation that was spread. We don't know by who. But so what we can see is that this is not normally how Donald Trump writes. We can see that this is a font that is not normally used on microblogging sites. And anytime we see something that really makes us energized, we can't wait to share it. That's my rubric. If you see a piece of information online, left, right, center, up, down, and you are like, oh my God, I got to tell someone about it, that's a time to chickadee check yourself and check it, fact check it. It's called lateral, what is it called? Lateral searching? I don't know. These media literacy people, they don't necessarily are great with buzzwords. So if you go to the Pointer Institute, they have a whole lesson for older people. That is, they say that about how to like check information online, and they call it lateral browsing. And that is, I don't know, I guess it's okay. So what you do is you would open up other tabs. And so they mean lateral browsing. You like don't just stick on this one source of information. You go right, you go left, you type into your thing, you do some image searches, and you check on that source of information and that piece of information. But so I wanted people to see this so that they could understand that, you know, it's coming from all sides at all times. Salacious disinformation. Not that it's being generated by mainstream media, as MAGA folks love to tell me in the TikTok Live, but that is, we are being attacked from all political, ideological viewpoints, right? The people who want to disinform us are trying to disinform us by using, you know, our sense of community against us, right? And when we talk about community, we're also talking about the reality that the right-wing disinformation ecosystem and the politicians who interact with it on the right, it is almost like WWE. It is almost like improv communities where they communicate back and forth to each other. Now, this is something we looked at the other day, and I think it's scary as hell. So do you know someone who is receiving Social Security benefits? Well, are they having trouble receiving them? So abruptly eliminating Social Security phone services threatens access to benefits. So the Trump administration is making it harder for eligible Social Security beneficiaries to access their benefits by eliminating phone services, forcing millions more people to seek in-person help, even as it cuts thousands of Social Security Administration staff. At the same time, increasingly frequent website outages are making it harder to seek services online. These abrupt and unjustified changes will worsen customer service delays and strain capacity at local field offices throughout the country. So starting April 14th, phone service will no longer be an option for retirees and survivors applying for benefits. So they're making old people who can't see well and who don't know how to use the internet very well. Wait a second. Instead, these services will only be available in person at an SSA field office? Shut up. A 45-mile trip for some 6 million seniors nationwide? Or online if an online application exists and if a person is able to access SSA's online tools. Y'all, this is basically the de facto destruction of millions of Americans being able to get their benefits. If you are a widow without much family who lives across the town from you, and you do not have much support, and you no longer can pick up the phone and be helped by a government employee to get your benefits, and you do not even maybe have a computer or the faculties to operate a computer or the eyesight to use a computer, can you imagine how frustrating and how also deadly this may be? I mean, are we kidding our daddies here? Do we understand how deadly and frustrating this is? How do you feel about it in the Substack chat? Can you tell me how you feel about it? This is horrible. This is terrible. And MAGA, what do you know about this? Are you getting this piece of information from your sources of information? We want to know. I have to get better at figuring out how long have I been online? What's happening? Oh, this is terrible. There's no... TikTok Live gives me a little, you know what I need to do? I need to start a clock. Gosh, by golly, I'm going to start a clock right now. Is it going to help me? Who the hell knows? It's too late. I'm just going to write Social Security stuff. SSA. 410. Because you know what you got to do this day and age is Diane Ekrit. What you got to do is you got to make content and put it on. So I got to download this video and turn it into video, but I'm not complaining. So hey everybody, what are you doing? How you doing today? How will you love someone today? How will you make someone look like a rock star today? How will you support others in the face of the division and hate that is created for us by the media and oligarchs and authoritarians around the world who own the means of communication and tune it to divide us. You know what I mean? Can we get real for a second? Can we get some action in the chats? Marley, are you not in Universal Studios Orlando and Disney World with your family? Because why are you the only member of your family? I have a family in Florida who loves me, and I love them. And only one of them seems to be here, and that's okay. Okay, now let's keep going through the news. We're reading the news with Deuce, okay? This is your way to get some news, and I've got all these other tools for you to get news and information. You can go to our Blue Sky lists at publicenlightenment.com at Blue Sky. Now, look, this is something that we wrote about. Let me show you this. We wrote about this. We wrote about this over at publicenlightenment.com. Okay. And so you should check this out, and you should share fact-based information every single time you're online, because Steve Bannon wants to flood the zone with shit. So what do, Fact Warriors? We flood the zone with facts. That's right. We flood the zone with facts. So this is an article that we wrote at Public Enlightenment, and we'd love for you to share it with all your friends and neighbors and loved ones about how they are consolidating power and stealing our money. And one of the things that we wrote about is this FDIC. They are coming for the FDIC, if you can believe it. The FDIC provides deposit insurance for trillions of dollars, okay? And now they're attacking it. They want to get rid of it. Elon Musk wants to get rid of all bank regulations because he basically wants you to not need a bank account. He wants to make everyone have to be on X. This is the real reality of what's happening. So anyway, let's go back to this piece of news. And so, breaking from Marissa Kabas, who is incredible, and you should all follow her. She's a fact-based person that you should follow and share at all times if you are a fact warrior like we all are in the tub of joy. So, breaking, Doge will descend upon federal deposit insurance buildings tomorrow. FDIC is responsible for insuring all commercial personal U.S. bank accounts, or for up to $250, and regulating banks. This is totally scary in light of Trump's manipulation of the markets this week. Hey, Mockingbird, fly back to Florida now, so very briefly 2 hours in the same state. Hey, David and Marley and everybody else here, how can you tell others about this to get on in here? You know, in improv we say, get on in here, and everybody comes in, they share their ideas and their thoughts. And we need your ideas and your thoughts. And I'm so sorry I can't get the Substack chat to appear on the screen. But also, nobody's talking to the Substack chat. So Trump has already made clear FDIC is a target. An early February executive order aimed at giving the president more power over independent regulatory agencies included the FDIC. Okay, the whole family's here. We love you. Thank you. Project 2025 does not explicitly propose eliminating the FDIC. Rather, the document suggests the corporation merge with other federal financial agencies. A 2017 report by the Heritage Foundation did suggest that eventually government-provided deposit insurance should be phased out fully. MAGA, they want to get rid of every single protection that all of us have. And you are cheering. And it is because you are on a disinformation system of informing you. Purposefully built so that they could achieve this massive victory. And so that is why we have written this. To MAGA with love, the disinformation is coming for the right. Please like and share all. Hey, Rose, Tony, you're back. We love you. So Sean Bartlett says in the Substack chat, the FDIC is such an insane thing to target. Well, it is insane. And it is because they have a plan to destroy the government and consolidate power. And so how are your mainstream sources of information telling you that at all? And this is why we believe that what we are doing at Public Enlightenment is a great public service, and we are grateful for everyone who shares it as widely as possible. We need to grow this, and we need to sustain this so that we can get more context for the news and understand what is actually happening in our country. I was talking with a young lady yesterday who was able to join live, and it was incredible. So Sean says, so what happens with history, right? When I studied American history in college, the textbooks, this was the early 2000s, the textbooks ended at 1980 because you need time to understand. And what happens often in our news and information ecosystem is that there are people who understand in the immediacy, but they are not the people whose voices make it into the mainstream media. Maybe there's an opinion piece here or there. Maybe in some of our, less legacy media institutions they're talking about it, but I'll tell you where they're talking about it. Independent media, nonprofit media that is reporting in the public interest. And Public Enlightenment, that's me. Public Enlightenment is trying to help everyone understand these important contexts so that they can take action now. So if you go to Public Enlightenment's Blue Sky, and please, hell yeah, we are getting lots of action in the Substack chat now. We've got LPC says, how can we get factual information to MAGA, print out factual articles, and leave them in public places? A nationwide effort? Look, LPC, I love that. I have so many ideas that we could do if we grow this thing. We could have national letter writing campaigns. We could do national guerrilla information campaigns. Could you imagine if there were 1 million adherents to the Public Enlightenment Tub of Joy? We could use all of our energy to create campaigns of guerrilla messaging. I have these stickers in my house, and they in the New York City subway they have a sign that says no loud music, no smoking, and no something else, right? The classic circle with the slash through it. And there's one that's no Donald Trump, right? And it's meant to go right over, and it's like meant to line up and just become the third one and replace one of the ones on there. We could do guerrilla messaging, LPC. Now let me pull this laptop right here in front of my dome piece so that I can see what people are saying. I'll rest it on my coffee cup. So LPC says, how can we get factual information to MAGA? So LPC, what I do is I try to have MAGA people join here, and we try to talk to them, and we want to grow this thing. And we want this to be a space where MAGA people and non-MAGA people come together and try to understand each other instead of shout across each other and call each other maggots and libards and all that stuff. Because everyone is doing the best they can with what they have at all times. Are we aware that everyone is doing the best they can with what they have at all times? And so oftentimes we do not understand each other because we are not in the same communities. And we do not have the same needs for comprehension and control and community as each other. And so if you grow up in a town where your pastor says that MAGA is great, where your mayor says that MAGA is great, where your dad says that MAGA is great, right? Where your community is telling you that this is the answer for our problems, and you lean right, and your psychology, political psychology based on evolutionary biology is such that you do listen to the words of a strong man more readily, because that is how you deal with the world. In a scary world where your friends and neighbors are dying of overdoses, and where, it's impossible to buy a home. And some man comes along and he has been, propagandized into being a successful businessman. And he lies through his teeth at all times and says the things that you need to hear. You're just going to vote for that man. It does not mean that you are racist. We have to meet people where they are in this country and where they are in our society. And so every time that we attack each other, everybody digs their claws in deeper. Every time we attack each other, we entrench ourselves even deeper. So I ask you all not to call someone a libard or a maggot, because what you are doing then is you are actually being a victim in the information war. Because at all times, Vladimir Putin and Elon Musk and Steve Bannon and Christopher Rufo want us to be fighting with each other. Still one of the greatest accomplishments of my life is that graphic. So LPC says they will be back. LPC is gone, but we need LPC to spread fact-based information every single time they are online. That is what we do here as Fact Warriors. So let's read what Therese has said in the Substack chat. Therese has said, this administration's cruelty is endless. It's as if true aliens from the stratosphere implanted evil chips in their brains as an experiment. Hold on, we're reading, hey, Susan, we're reading what Therese has said before you got here into the chat. And we support the ideas of everyone here, MAGA and non-MAGA. And we try to listen and agree and commit to the ideas of others. Because yes, half of us are on a propaganda information ecosystem stream. And so if we don't try to break through that stream and understand people where they are and then explain to them that they are on an information system that has been created to manipulate them into hating us, and if we don't understand ourselves that our hatred for the people who are MAGA, if that is what you do, if you do hate them and despise them, that is purposefully that is what the billionaires who pay the millionaires to divide us want for all of us. Do you know what I mean? You know, these people who are pundits and all that, they have no scruples, right? The same people who denounced COVID vaccines and who doubted masks on air for Fox News, those same people had to be vaccinated. Those same people had to be vaccinated to walk into the Fox News headquarters. So these people do not care. They are dividing us on purpose, and if we fall prey to that, we are victims. So Therese is saying this administration's cruelty is endless. It's as if true aliens from the stratosphere implanted evil chips in their brains as an experiment to see how low they could be. Who are they that they would pluck a person from his family and rendition him to El Salvador and then lie about him just to say there are mass deportations? There is not human beings run our country. They are freaks. So Therese, we're going to talk about this idea. And if you would like to join live and talk to me, and if you have a Discord account, see, this is the problem, Paris family. We need to have just a phone number. And now, Sean Bartlett, do you know how we can just get a phone number on the screen that I can use to have people call in? That would be ideal. David is invoking the God of fear, Todd. For Todd so hated the world that he made sure to fuck us all up and keep all of us from achieving our dreams. This is a religion based on fear and our relationship with it. But so I'm going to address your comment about freaks in 1 second, Therese. And Therese also says this administration's cruelty is endless. It says, oh, they said it twice. Oh, they said it twice. Okay. It was the message so nice that Therese felt they had to say it twice. So, Therese, what we want to say about that, maybe it's possible for me to drag this onto the screen, your chat, but that's okay. Therese, what we want to say about that is that we can't call people freaks. Even Donald Trump, okay? And now stick with me here. Don't leave right away. Now, Donald Trump, everyone is doing the best they can with what they have. And yes, obviously, Donald Trump has narcissistic sociopathy. And so we need Donald Trump to get therapy. Now, is it too late for him? Is it too late for any of us? You know, I know people who are getting therapy for their parents who are the same age as Donald Trump right now for the very first time. But so obviously we need Donald Trump out of the halls of power. He is a sick man who is perpetuating fears, patterns of violence, domination, and bigotry because of his own inadequacies. Now, do Google Voice numbers even still exist? Because that would be an ideal solution. I guess I would turn it on, if that's even possible, for these sessions and turn it off. And is it possible for someone to hack my computer if I do that? These are the things I'm concerned about. That's Sean mentioning a Google Voice number for call-ins. That would be incredible. We will experiment with that tonight. There's so much to do. I'm almost finished with my article about Charlie Kirk. But so we cannot allow, it's not when you go low, they go high. Or whatever. When they go high, you go low. It's not with something like that. Okay, Therese, what it is that it is, we have to lead with love. We have to lead with support. And we get that idea and that notion from the basis of this religion, which is the tenets of quality improvisational comedy. So if you are on the comedy stage and you need to make something up in front of strangers who are watching you and your teammates on stage, you have nothing but each other. And using nothing but each other and your ideas may be at cross purposes. You may walk out and say, hey, spaghetti monster, it's time for bed. And they may walk out and say, hello, I'm a high-priced lawyer who is ready to win the case. And now you have to figure out how to either make those things match, or you have to just accept the idea that the other person said and move on. And when you do that, when you seek agreement across ideas that are not necessarily your own, you end up connecting. you end up having joy. You end up creating an environment where there is discovery and excitement and commitment to each other and gratitude for each other. And that is what we need in this world so deeply. Do you know what I mean? So deeply in this world do we need to embrace our fear and to teach all of ourselves to embrace our fear, to have a better relationship with fear. Because on the other side of fear's embrace, over his shoulder at all times, is the opportunity for joy. But we are so addled by the division and the patterns that fear creates for us as we are born into this world. When we are little children, we find it so easy to connect. But then as we grow, and the adults who have come before us, who have ingested fear's patterns, been injected with fear's patterns of inadequacy and shame and doubt. Todd is incapable of love, David. Todd, the God of fear, is incapable of love. Because when he was a little boy, he was hurt by someone he trusted. And that pain festered and grew. And it grew so powerful, and he lashed out at others to the point that he became our God. That is the mythology of this religion. And so we realize that on the stage of life, we'd best be seeking connection with others at all times. And we realize that the people who control our system right now, the Elon Musks, the Christopher Rufos, the Steve Bannons, the Vladimir Putins, the Donald Trumps, their program is fear. And they have been programmed by fear to seek more, to never be satisfied. And unless we all come together and communicate to each other that it is us versus them, not you versus me, we are doomed, and we will have hot wars before we know it. So that's what we do here, and that's what we talk about here. We're so grateful for you if you're here on YouTube or if you're here on Twitch. There is a big delay on YouTube, so you should know that. I think there's also a mild delay on Substack, but we want you to keep talking with us. So, Therese, we hope that you have something to say about that and something to think about how we just addressed what you were talking about. And so I'm not good at OBS anymore. And let's get back to how we can understand the news and contextualize the news for ourselves, okay? So we have created at Public Enlightenment's Blue Sky, we've created these lists where you can consult fact checkers, diverse opinion, historians, legal experts, the news, media critics, political science, and disinformation experts. And the news is populated with national news with a bias towards democracy, context, and facts, okay? And we had a great conversation about ground news yesterday with a young lady who so many people, young people, are going to ground news, but ground news perpetuates the right-wing disinformation ecosystem by telling you, if you are a non-MAGA person, that you have a blind spot, that the right is covering this story, so you should pay attention to it because you're in a silo, you're in an echo chamber. No, we want to be in an echo chamber and a silo of fact-based journalism reporting in the public interest. But so ground news creates a false duality, a false dichotomy, a false symmetry between two sides of information. But there is no symmetry between these two sides of information, right? There is a purpose-built propaganda system of the Daily Wire, of Breitbart, of Daily Caller, of OANN, of RSBN, of Newsmax, of Fox News, these outlets that have been created to propagandize, to lie about elections to the tune of, billion-dollar payouts. Okay? So we need to understand that there is not any equality of both sides. First of all, mainstream corporate media is not the left when it comes to media. Do you understand? There's no such thing as objectivity or a lack of bias in media. And so we have to center as facts and fact-based information. Okay? Now look, we're doing this every morning, 9 to 11, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to turn this part into a little video. So what do we got? What are we going to do now? Let's go check on, do we want to play the MAGA congressman game? Or do we want to keep going through the news? Let me know in the chat. Do we want to play the MAGA congressman game, or do we want to keep going through the news? What is Real Madison saying? Madison, what do you mean? Yes, we do. You got to be more specific, okay? We talk about context all the time here, and It feels decontextualized, although you're replying to something that I said, but we do know we are operating on a delay. All right, we're going to play the MAGA Congressman game. Want MAGA Congressman game. So, okay, the MAGA Congressman game. Oh, heck yeah. Yo, our buddy Dan Ratz is here. Dan, can you tell the entirety of the Buffalo Improv House community about what we do here every morning? Dan writes, oh my God, this is incredible. Dan, hi, Dan. Dan, everybody. So, Dan, we have some mega fans of the Megachurch of Improv here. Or, sorry, the Megachurch of Joy. We've rebranded Dan. So, Dan Wrights is the original OG accompanist and idea man and supporter and cousin in the Tub of Joy. Dan Wrights is one of the most brilliant musicians on the planet. He is my friend and my buddy up in... I'm starting to cry. Dan, it's so nice to have you here. Hell yeah, Dan. Dan is incredible. And he also makes some videos online. If you like baseball and you want to understand the different pitches, Dan Wrights has created incredible content for you. Dan Wrights is one of the funniest and most talented people you'll ever meet in your entire life. And he was the piano player accompanist, my cousin, my compatriot on stage for the original iteration of the Megachurch of Joy that we performed live in New York City multiple times. And it is just so incredible. So we want to say yes, and Dan, you are royalty. Hell yeah. Dan, I have this entire family outside of Jacksonville, Florida that loves what we do. And we are so grateful for them, and they are rock stars. And you are a rock star, Dan, literally. And I can't wait to see you in May. It's going to be so great. I have reports that you will be here in May, Dan, and that's going to be so incredible. So, okay, we're going to play the MAGA Congressman game. And now I'm a decent improviser, but we'll see. We'll test my skills, and I'll follow the fear. So the MAGA Congressman game, everybody, is, let me switch so that I don't get canceled for the things I'm about to say. So the MAGA Congressman game, Marley is starstruck. Dan is a multi-instrumentalist. He is responsible for an unreleased Big Jeans album. They also know about Big Jeans, Dad. He's responsible for an unreleased Big Jeans album being incredible. It is a tour de force rock opera about a robot spaceman. Anyway, let's get going with this game. So what we need is a suggestion in the chat. What we need is the suggestion in the chat. I will drop a deep track in the Discord. What we need is a suggestion in the chat of a ridiculous talking point that a MAGA congressperson would put forward, and then I will improvise the justifications for that talking point. So this is a creativity exercise for all of us, you know? My friend Oh, Emma is here. Hello, Emma. We love you. Emma, we love you so much. You are a rock star. How will you make others look like rock stars and feel like rock stars today? Welcome back, Emma. The tub is growing. Are we excited? The tub is growing. Are we excited? The tub is growing. I think that for this, I'm just gonna... So what is the suggestion? Transgender women in sports. Okay. Oh, this is gonna really hurt. This is gonna really hurt. I want them to be kind of fallacious. Okay, I'll do it. Hold on now. Because Tommy Tuberville said some crazy things, so I guess I will just repeat Tommy Tuberville, I guess. Let me just put an image up on the screen so that people also know. Here we go. I want that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Hold on one second. We're going to start playing the game. Oh, fuck me. Oh, sorry, I'm swearing. Am I allowed? Okay, everyone, we're so grateful you're here. As an improviser, I loathe dead air. Here we go. Let's get this on the screen. Zoinks is going to be hard to watch. Yeah, it really is. The hype for the MAGA game, I love it. Okay, let's switch back. Oh, my God, that is huge. Wait. Oh, God, we are live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Oh, God. Please do not cancel me. Okay. This is the MAGA Congressman game. You can see that I'm wearing a tie that represents my magnitude. And so here we go. The suggestion is trans women in sports. Now, first of all, what is a woman? If you can't tell me that a woman is someone with a female body part, I do not even want to talk to you. Because did you know that they are making everything transgender these days? There are several high schools around the country where the boys' team is entirely trans now, and the girls' team is entirely trans. And so I don't even know what's up or what's down anymore. And you know, now when I walk into the 7-Eleven, what I find is that they no longer have regular coffee. It is only trans coffee. And do you know what? We are on a slippery slope, because before you know it, all of our cars will have their steering wheels on the British side, and we will become trans British Americans. And that is the reality in the world that the Marxist, socialist, leftist, communist, Leninists want for us, okay? And the Marxist, socialist, communist, Leninists, what they want for us is not for us to be trans, okay? Because when we try to be trans with the Gulf of America, okay? We transitioned to the Gulf of America, and that's the only trans that I want to be doing, okay? We want to turn Mexico into America, and we want to turn Canada into America, okay? And that is the only trans that I will absolutely accept as a MAGA congressperson, okay? And so we are on a slippery slope, because before we know it, it starts with one trans woman wanting to run a 3.1 mile race, okay, against the boys. And now those boys are coming home and they are crying, okay? They're coming home and they're crying. And then by the end of them crying, they look up at their parent and they are crying with tears in their eyes. And they say, I want to transition too, Daddy. And that is what we are facing in this country. And do you know what's going to happen once we have all transitioned? Once we have all transitioned, once I am a woman, I might start to feel good about myself, and I would hate that. I would hate to live according to my authentic self, okay? Because currently I am closeted. Currently I'm a closeted MAGA congressman, and I do not want to live according to my most authentic self. I want to remain scared and perpetuate my fear onto everyone else. Do you understand, okay? So it is no longer South America. It is America Plus, okay? It is no longer Africa. These are the only transitions that we accept. It is no longer Africa. It is America, because we just changed it, okay? We just took the ICA. We just kept the ICA, okay? It is no longer Europe. It is Amerip, okay? It is no longer Russia. It is Amarussia. And it is no longer Asia. It's Asiarica, okay? Those are the only transitions we accept. And that has been me, a MAGA congressman, talking about some bullshit. Okay? We did it. We played the MAGA game, and now I want to take off this tie because I feel a little bit dirty. So what we do with the MAGA game is we show that really all that's happening at all times on the disinformation right, from the politicians especially, is they are just improvising whatever it is that the hell that they want to say. And then that's being adopted by and repeated, and it's this game that happens back and forth. Hold on one second, I need to delete something. It's this game that happens back and forth, okay? Look at that, I transitioned from right to left. So we just played the MAGA congressman game, and it's a freaky game, and we don't necessarily like it. So would you like to talk about, and so thank you so much for playing that game with me. And maybe I could, is that something that I should clip and share? Maybe I play the MAGA congressman game. Because we're trying to just grow this thing, and so we need to make social media content. Because what we do every single day, everybody here, we are fact warriors, okay? The scared little boy, the dickheads who are living out fears patterns, the Donald Trumps, the Steve Bannons, the Vladimir Putins, the Elon Musks, the Peter Thiels, right? Their inadequacies force them to hate everyone else and push their hate and division and judgment and cynicism on everyone else, okay? And so what we do is we push back. Every single time you're online, you need to push back and flood the zone with facts. Because flooding the zone with facts is the only way we're going to overcome Steve Bannon's program of flooding the zone with shit. Iran's program of flooding the zone with shit. You know, leading up to October 7th, I'm going to get very real here. Leading up to October 7th, there was a growth in pro-Palestine support around the world. And I believe that it was not entirely organic, okay? And now I'm making no judgment on Palestine and pro-Palestine support. But what I'm saying is we are all being manipulated from all sides by everyone at all times. And we are in an information war. And so what we need to do is consult fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values every single time we are online. We need to be fact warriors. We need to push as much fact-based information, journalism, reporting in the public interest into the information ecosystem as possible, because they have power, they own the algorithms, they have they own the platforms, they own the giant media corporations, okay? But we have each other. And the one thing we are not doing is fighting back in the information war that is waging around us at all times. Do you understand that you are in an information war every single day? You don't believe me? Look at how half of our country is cheering for what's going on. Now, something happened to me yesterday, and my information stream on Instagram turned entirely MAGA disinformation. And let's see if it is still that way. As I scrolled through every single thing I came across. Now, how did I do it? What did I do? What happened? Was disinformation. Now look at this. Look at this young lady. Check this out. This is what's happening at all times. We are in an information war, and you need to push back, everybody. Okay, check it out. Look at watch this young lady. Okay? And this is something that this person has a small reach, but watch this young lady. I need you to see this. I need you to see what's happening.
So amazing because their little Lord and Savior AOC is flying first class, but she also wears a dress to the Met Gala that says "Eat the Rich," and she always preaches "Eat the Rich." But like, also you guys should check out how much her net worth has grown in the past like 4 years. It's freaking crazy. The leftists will never cease to amaze me because their little Lord and Savior AOC is flying first class, but she also wears a dress to the Met.
So look at the way we talk to each other, and look at the way we try to get clout online. You know what I mean? Now check this out, everybody. She's just spreading disinformation. So, Roy, there's no evidence to support a claim in 2022 that Ocasio-Cortez has a net worth of $29 million, but that's what this little girl is referencing. She's awash in disinformation, and to get some more followers or something, or because she believes it, which is even worse. She's going on, she's saying, you know, it's ridiculous, it's absurd. Oh, sorry, Rev Deuce is getting really fired up. But I want you to see something else now, okay? I want you to see how we fight back and how we create those tools here. And now I'm so sorry for all the advertising that I do, but like I have to, you know what I mean? Because I have to grow this. But so we put together articles like 6 fact-based influencers you can repost now to flood the zone with facts. And one of those people that we love is our pal Nico. Nico is incredible. I mean, I can't even believe. Watch Nico.
Is your member of Congress a piece of shit? Let's find out. Today we're going to be grading the financial integrity of Representative Ilhan Omar from Minnesota's 5th Congressional District. Alright, so she's been in office since 2019. Last cycle, of the $8.2 million she raised, 3% of that money came from PACs, 48% of those funds came from small individual donations, while 49% of those funds came from large individual donations. She doesn't hold or trade any individual stocks.
You want me to play the AOC one?
Her estimated net worth is right around $115,000. That's mostly held.
That makes the most sense. I should play the AOC one. Where's AOC? That would make the most sense. You know, and I should turn this into a video. But the thing is, we're in landscape. And now my fiance hates it when I post videos that are in landscape on social media. Okay, here we go.
Is your member of Congress a piece of Let's find out. Last week, we gave Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez an A+ for her financial integrity in Congress. But I got a lot of comments saying, how could she have financial integrity if she's worth millions and millions of dollars and only gets money from her congressional salary? People are saying she's worth a couple $1 million. I've seen a very specific figure saying she's worth $29 million. So let's dig into it. Her congressional salary is $176,000, which after taxes would be roughly $119,000 a year. Given that she's been in Congress for 6 years, that means she's taken home roughly $714,000. She doesn't own a home, meaning that she's renting back in her home district in New York and in DC. On average, this would cost over $60,000 a year, and over 6 years would cost roughly $374,000. If we also assume that she is the average non-rent expenses of a DC resident, that would be another $17,000 a year, or roughly $100,000 for her tenure in Congress. Now we have an estimate for her net worth, which is not over $1 million and is not anywhere near $29 million. In fact, our estimate is right in the range of what's been publicly reported at $237,000. Is your member of Congress a piece of
Okay.
Let's find out. Last week.
Okay, we need fact-based information at all times, and we need to be spreading fact-based influencers because 40% of Americans under the age of 30 get their news and information from social media influencers, and over 60% of social media influencers do not fact-check any of their information before they post it online. Okay, we need to be fact warriors. We need to flood the zone with facts. That's what we do here every 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. So please, I'm begging you desperately, come and follow Rev Deuce as he helps give you the context you need for the news while also spreading love, joy, support, and bridging the divides between MAGA and non-MAGA, because the billionaires who own our means of communication want to divide us at all times, and so we have to push back against their program of fear, hate, division, violence, persecution, bigotry, and domination. Yes, and come on and join us in the tub. Okay, so obviously I was making an ad there. Okay, so isn't that interesting, everybody? Hey, we're gaining more followers on Twitch. How good is that? We love our Twitch followers. Patricia Martin, how are you doing? So let's keep debunking disinformation. I mean, I love to do it all day long. And if you are a MAGA person, we would love to talk to you about your sources of information. And if you are a non-MAGA person, we'd love to talk to you about your sources of information. Yesterday, we had an incredible chat with the delightful, wonderful Emma. You know what I mean? We had the wonderful chat with the delightful Emma, and we talked about Emma's sources of information. And now we weren't trying to change Emma's mind about anything. We were trying to have a nuanced discussion about how information is I burp when I live stream. Information is the cause of all of our outcomes. And 99% of the things we know and understand about the world are told to us by someone else. Do we get it? Journalism, the bedrock of democracy is journalism. It's the only profession that's been enshrined into the Constitution. Yes, and the founders believed deeply that popular government without popular information and the means of acquiring it was prelude to a farce or a tragedy or something even worse. I believe that was James Madison. Okay. Well, look, now Rev Deuce used to make a ton of money, but Rev Deuce no longer makes a ton of money, and so he's out here grifting for dollars. Why don't I even have a Cash App on the screen yet? What is wrong with me? I'm terrible at this. I guess I need to make a Cash App, and even though I desperately do not want to, I need to make a PayPal. And do you think it's safe for me to put my own personal Venmo on the screen? Can people tell me what they think about that? Because I can't wait to grift everybody, but it's an honest grift. So how will you be a fact warrior today? How will you push back against the pattern of fear and disinformation that's created for us by the global authoritarians and billionaires who are tuning the algorithms to divide us and spread hate and disinformation? Do we understand that at all times we are in an information war, and many of our fellow Americans are sucking down that sweet, sweet And now, can you have two Venmos linked to the same account? I'm so curious, and I love everyone for their information. So that's incredible. We're having a great time. What should we do next? Is there any MAGA person in any of the chats who wants to talk to us? And how's it going in Substack? Substack chat, are you here? What do you want to talk about? Is there a piece of news you want to talk about? Do you want me to rate your source of information? Do you want to rate your source of information? Emma is so full of facts. We love you, Emma. And we're so grateful for you. And so let's take a pause for a second while we wait for people to tap into the chat about what it is that they want to direct the energy of the show towards today. And let's read the prayer of oppression. So this is a religion based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy where we work on a relationship with fear because we know that fear is our God. Fear is the one who contains the energy inside of us that says to do the thing, to live according to our authentic selves. You know what I mean? And so fear keeps us from taking those risks in life that might fulfill us. Fear keeps us from saying those things to our friends and loved ones that might build connection. Fear keeps us from, loving our neighbor and, accepting and welcoming the stranger. Fear keeps us divided across our families. And so are you struggling with something today? And can we talk to you about it? Do you want to share in this space of love and support and commitment and energy and compassion and agreement and gratitude? I would be so grateful, and so would everyone else who's an adherent of the tub, to hear what you have to say. Now let's read the prayer of oppression, and let's remember for the newbies that our God is Todd, the God of fear. For he so hated the world that he made sure to fuck us all up and keep everyone from achieving their dreams. Yes, and. So let's read the prayer of oppression. Almighty Todd, we come before you partially understanding love and completely knowing fear. We know what is best for us, yet you keep us from dreams we have yet to imagine. We are sure we know what we are to do and how we are to act, yet you have seen our doubts and you manipulate them. You hate us in ways we have yet to discover. Forgive us for turning away from your hate and your contempt. Forgive us for when we try to ignore you, O fear, foolishly thinking you'll go away. Open our eyes to your steadfast hurt and your undying isolation. Help us to understand that your hate never ends, your power is never totally expended, yet even so our support and commitment can heal even you. We pray this in the face of doubt. Yes, and. And when we speak our fears into the world, we get power over our fears. When we speak our fears into the world, we say after that, these are my fears and I embrace them. We take back the power from fear, and we get the power over our fear, and we embrace our fear in that way, and over fear's shoulder is the opportunity for joy at every single time, because joy is nothing more than the momentary absence of fear. Yes, and Betsy, Egeland, Zook, how are you? Megan, get on in here. We are talking about our relationship with fear. We are talking about being fact warriors. Every single time you are online, you'd best be spreading fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values, because Steve Bannon knows how to propagandize. Steve Bannon knows how to turn half the country against the other half of us. And we need to push back and flood the zone with facts. Am I right? Can I get a yes and? So please type in your source of information. I'm going to quickly load into this deal. I'm going to quickly load another graphic. So bear with me. Talk in the chat, please. Everybody talk with each other. Lift each other up. Tell us what your fear is so that we can support you. Yes, and we want to support everyone through their fears, because did you know that all we are sacks of energy? Light beams from the sky and we catch it by eating or drinking. We are literally the sun's energy trying at all times to vibrate on the same frequency. But instead what happens is fear, this bastard, gets in our way. He's a giant dickhead, and fear gets in our way. And what fear does is keeps us from connecting with each other. When we are children in this world, it is so easy to connect. You just walk up to another kid, you say, hey, do you like cheese? And they're like, yeah, I just got over my cheese allergy. I love friggin' cheese. And then you go, oh my God, I love cheese too. Let's be best friends forever. Okay, but as we grow up in the office and in the neighborhood, we are told to fear. The politicians tell us to fear. Okay, we have a fear from Emma in the chat, and we cannot wait to support you, Emma. 1 second while Deuce messes about like a dummy. 1 second. We gotta say, what are we saying? Objective. Okay, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go, and then we're gonna browse, and we're not gonna do that. We're gonna browse. We can't wait to honor Emma's fear. Uno segundo, por favor. Objectivity. Oh, no. So you think. No. Okay, I did it. I have so many things in front of the screen that I can't see, and I have to. Okay, so Emma online. Emma has said into the chat, Emma has said, my fears lately have been irrational, like imposter syndrome, not just at work, but worried even off work that I am going to do something wrong. And so we want to support you, Emma, and we love you so much. And so we say, all of us in the chat on Substack, I will tell about the chat, even though we can't see it. We want to say, Emma, we love you, Emma. Yes, and Emma, yes, we hear your fear of imposter syndrome and we support you. Yes, Emma, we hear your fear of imposter syndrome and we are grateful that you shared it with us because you took one step towards your fear just now. And we would love it if you feel the energy and if you want to speak out loud into the world and say, this is my fear and I embrace it. Because when we embrace our fears, we get that much closer to taking back the power over fear. Okay, so we are so grateful for you, Emma. Emma's fear of imposter syndrome, not just at work, but even off work. She fears she's doing something wrong. And Emma, that is a totally acceptable and reasonable fear to have. And so we love you because we practice Brene Brown's idea of just listening without judgment, listening without suggestion, just listening and supporting and uplifting. And so we say, Emma, we love you so much. And we are here to support you and hear your fears and hear everything that you want to say about it. If you wanted to join live right now, Emma, and talk about it, this tub of joy would support and uplift you so deeply, and we would just shower you in love and hopefully make you feel like a rock star. But it's not something that you need to feel if you don't want to feel it. You are in charge of your energy at all times, Emma, and that is your energy and your decision what to do with it. So we are so grateful for you, Emma. Yes, and we are so grateful that you are embracing that fear. Isn't it so beautiful to be in the tub? Isn't it nice to be in the tub? It's always 69 here in Boca Raton, where we are beaming live the Megachurch of Joy, the religion that Rev Deuce founded in 2014 based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy and certain ego-suppressing compounds. Oh, it feels so good, so joyful to be a fact warrior and push back against the dickhead fear program that is shoved down our brains every single time we're online. And now, if you are online, you'd best be a fact warrior. And we have the tools here in the Megachurch of Joy to help you be a fact warrior. You go to publicenlightenment.com and you share all those articles. You find someone who loves the free press and Barry Weiss, and you reveal to them the article by Public Enlightenment that talks about how Barry Weiss is nothing more than a grifter who is perpetuating the fear-based program of right-wing billionaires who just want to destroy the working class, yes, and hate trans people. No, but. So we're so grateful. Things have chilled out a little bit after we just had a great time listening to Emma's fears. We want to talk about the Discord for a second. We have a Discord. You can type into the chats that you want to join the Discord, and we can figure out a way to help you with that, I think. I need moderators. I will get moderators over time, and it will be so sublime. Do you know a MAGA friend or loved one who you still communicate with? Another thing that you could do is you could share this article with them. To MAGA with love, the disinformation is coming from the right. And you can give me feedback. Are you being too harsh in that article, Rev Deuce? Because my MAGA friend and loved one is never going to listen to your bullshit. Discord, please. Dan wants to be in the Discord. Okay, so what do I do? Well, I can get that to you privately, Dan. Do you want to be in it right now? Oh, Emma, and I checked out Cody Johnston. Now, there's two Cody Johnstons. There's one who's a country singer. And then there's a guy with a beard who looks kind of like my old friend John Carlo. You're staying at your MAGA cousin's house right now, actually. Now, Madison has told us in the past... Oh, Lilith, you're here. Now, Madison has told us in the past, I really enjoyed Cody Johnston's stuff. You know how I feel about shitting on Dems, and I saw 1 or 2 videos where he just, mildly shat on Dems. And, it's a strategic thing, Rev Deuce's thoughts about shitting on Dems. But if anyone wants to shit on Dems, that's their idea, and we have to support it. But I really loved a lot of his content, especially I will use him in the future because of his anti-Jordan Peterson content, because, of course, Jordan Peterson, the #1 rule here in the Mega Church of Joy is don't be a dick. And now Jordan Peterson is a disinforming, anti-climate, misogynistic dickhead who uses a bunch of big words. And so everyone's doing the best they can with what they have. We have love and support for Jordan Peterson. It's just we want him to get off the stage of influence and into a therapist's office. So Real Madison Swan is with a MAGA cousin, and if your MAGA cousin wants to join live and talk to me, which I know is a huge ask, that would be incredible, Madison. But of course, we support you in just wanting to keep things copacetic while you're down there visiting Disney. Oh, look, Small Trombone GG49 Kegix says, well, we can get cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Well, I want highbrow viewers. I don't want cheap viewers. I want high quality viewers. I want viewers who are streamlined and ergonomic. I want viewers that have German engineering. You know what I mean? I want viewers that are in the Zagat guide to high quality restaurants. I want Michelin starred viewers. Okay, so get out of here with that, Small Trombone. And I do have so many Michelin starred viewers. You're all Michelin starred viewers, and you're all beautiful people who care about facts and information. Now, what's interesting is the folks on Substack like to just come in and just watch and not really say anything. And I'm not trying to neglect y'all. I keep looking over Megan, Marlene Cohen, Adair, ZZ, Peter Brown, Felicity, Roberta Bat. Okay, we've only got about 40 minutes, and then I'm going to finally finish this article. You know, it's so friggin' hard to prove that someone's racist, even when they clearly are, to someone who doesn't want to believe that that person is racist, especially when they only get messages that there's no such thing as racism and that anyone who's non-MAGA who talks about racism is obsessed with race, because they've never consulted American history, and they don't understand the scourge of lynching. They don't understand the scourge of urban renewal. They don't understand the scourge of Jim Crow. They don't understand the scourge of redlining, and they don't understand these scourges that have, oppressed people in our country and continue and are perpetuated now, and are literally the people who spread those messages that there's no such thing as systemic racism are perpetuating that same shit. Emma wants to jump in the tub. Emma wants to jump in the tub, and we are going to support that idea. We had such a great conversation with Emma the other day. Emma, let's talk for like 20 minutes, and then we can close out the show with something else that Rev Deuce will talk about. So, Emma, let's see. How do we do this? Emma, are you just going to... Oh, Emma's here. Huh. Emma is politely sitting in the call-in room. Incredible. Now, what do I do? Okay. Now I'll mute myself.
Hey.
Can everyone hear Emma?
Hello.
Can everyone hear Emma? I bet they can. I know they can, in fact, but I'm just checking in. So, Emma.
You're muted if you're speaking.
Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, hold on. So, Emma, you can hear me now.
Yeah, now that you unmuted.
Okay, yeah. I was just thinking maybe because I'm speaking into the mic and everyone else can still hear me, but now I understand. Okay, Emma, we love you.
Yeah.
How are you? How was work yesterday?
Oh, work was good. I spent the whole day doing paperwork, which was nice.
Okay, yeah, sometimes...
but I hated it because it's like, I love interacting with patients, but then when I have to interact with patients and write about it, nah.
Nah, dog. When you have to interact with patients and write about it. Okay, so you work in some sort of medical field, and that's wonderful.
Yeah. The what?
The Hippocratic Oath, do no harm.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. So, yeah, patients were cool. I didn't talk to any of them though. I literally just took notes, and honestly, it was kind of nice. I worked from home.
Oh hell yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Oh Emma,
yeah.
I wanted to ask you really quick. I need to like write something in the call-in thing that primes people, but do you consent to me editing the video from yesterday that you are speaking on and sharing it online, or no?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, great. Isn't consent the best? Okay, so Emma, we have you in the tub. So, I mean, I would love to hear more about how work went. And if you want to keep talking about that, that's fine. But also, I think that you're in here to talk about imposter syndrome.
That's exactly what I'm here for. Yeah, thanks, man.
I love your energy. Okay, Emma, so what would you like to say? And we can't wait to support you.
Yeah. So I guess like, I was curious maybe for the chat when we're talking about that imposter syndrome, like it goes beyond work, right? I mentioned work, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I say like I'm off work and I'm like, I'm doing something wrong. I'm gonna be found out. And it's like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, I'm not gonna be found out. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. Now, do you think there's something like beneath the surface? Do you think there's something else going on that like is, sometimes we have expressions, of anxiety or expressions of fear that like we can only access, sort of like a most conscious, most top of mind way. So do you think there's something else going on with like this feeling?
Yeah, well, I guess like, I don't know, the found out thing. Do other people, like, I'm curious, maybe do other people relate to that being found out thing?
Yeah, being found out. Being found out to be what? You're not sure?
To be a shit person, right? To be a bad person.
Oh, to be a bad person.
Yeah, which doesn't even mean anything, right? Because it's like if I were to qualify somebody else, I wouldn't say, oh, this person's a bad person because X, Y, Z. Or even the things that I think of, right? I don't know. I'm not Jordan Peterson, so like, why am I stressing?
And you know what? I wonder if Jordan Peterson ever accesses for a single moment a doubt or a fear, right? Like, is it so compartmentalized for him that he doesn't, perhaps clearly he doesn't understand that he is, pushing a program of hate and division and violence. Oh boy. So anyway, Emma, well, first of all, you are a beautiful person. You are the sun's energy vibrating on a beautiful frequency. You are a valuable person to your friends and your family. You are a valuable person to your community. And you are a beautiful person who, thinks about others and cares about others. You shared with us yesterday your interest in mutual aid, and that's so beautiful. And that impetus, I have a person in my life who I know has done, mutual aid type things because they don't feel that they are worthy. Is that part of why you do the beautiful things that you do? Do you think that?
Yeah, well, when it comes to mutual aid, I would say, this sounds shitty, but it is my friends. Like, I'd say, if they are my community, I will stand for them. But if it is people who are close to me, like, outside of my friends, like, that makes sense to me, but less so, right? Like, I am here for my community, and that's where my love comes from, rather than trying to get that sense of worth. But I think my low sense of self-esteem definitely underpins some shit.
Interesting.
And Mattis said something that I relate to. Like I'm a child about to get caught and I've done nothing. That's so true. Like, I was supposed to be doing homework and the teacher's coming by and there's literally nothing, right? And I know that's silly because there's no one grading you. It's life.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to like, it's hard. Well, I want to hear what you were just saying. Because I was going to say it's hard to love everyone, Like, I feel like part of what you're saying is that you feel like I might be discovered to like not be loving everyone, right? When you say it's easy for you to love and support and give mutual aid to your close friends that you care about, it's hard to care about everyone. I feel like almost it's like physically impossible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to the level of care that I'm talking about, absolutely. I don't have energy for that. Like, right. I have my community and I love my community. when it comes to reaching beyond it, yeah, I'll do that if my friends are tight with them, but like beyond that,
And sometimes we need to just be okay, I guess, with doing the best we can with what we have, right? I mean, you have a limited amount of time in your day. You have a limited amount of resources, and so, it's not always going to be possible to even support people in the way that we want to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things.
And so,
And I'm curious.
yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, Madison's saying I don't know, putting that effort while still taking care of yourself really hit me.
Isn't it so true? It's so true. It's so hard in this world to, to be the people that we want to be, right?
Yeah.
A reason that I created this character, for instance, is that, like, it's hard for me. I want to be this way, right? I want to be so good at listening if I am. I want to be so supportive and loving of everyone, right? Like, part of why I care so deeply about information is because I care deeply, as the human behind this character, about everyone's outcomes, right? Like, why should there be suffering in this world when we could all come together and create a world where there is so much less suffering? But I feel weird. I would feel weird telling strangers that I love them all the time, There's something about our world and the patterns of judgment and cynicism in it, and doubt and shame, that, like, it feels weird to just live in a way where you're like, everyone is a being of light and they're worthy of love, and I love them, and I will tell them that. I will reach out of my own mind, and I will use my lungs and the air that's in them and my vocal cords, and I will express past my mouth that I love you to a stranger. That is hard to do. It's hard to live and speak according to the type of people that we want to be.
Yeah.
And so, Emma, do you practice forgiveness?
When it comes to self-forgiveness, you mentioned Brene Brown earlier. So, like, when I went to grad school, there was, like, a lot of work that we did on, like, self-compassion as, like, a chunk of it. But I think when it comes to that self-compassion piece, a lot of it has been, like, I explicitly know the information in and out, right? But it's how to apply it that's the hard shit. And I think for me, being able to apply it via, I guess, like, the support and, like, love for myself that I show other people is hard. But I think I'm getting better at it.
That's
than
beautiful.
I used to be.
Can we try something today? Can we try? Emma, my assumption is that you will come back to the tub of joy. Is that correct assumption? Okay. Because
I mean, I'm hoping to.
Well, yeah. Well, we love you, and we want you here as much as your energy compels you to be here. And so, can we try something? Can we identify one thing that you, like, want to do? One way that you, like, want to be? And I don't know what it is. I'm hoping you've got an idea. And if you don't, that's okay. But can we identify one step you could take, or one thing that you sometimes wish you could be or wish you could do? And then maybe we could kind of do a thing where it's not like we put pressure on you, but we encourage you to go try that thing out and try to live according to one of these energies that you may have, that you may feel like that induces the imposter feeling within you. And then you could come back to us and tell us how it felt, and maybe it might go bad and maybe it might go good, but we don't know. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, I mean, that hits a little. And I think, I don't know, I've had when it comes to art and stuff, I've had kind of a complicated relationship.
Oh boy, tell me about it.
Different media, and I think being able to reclaim my relationship with art has been huge. So yeah, I'd say, like, either multimedia or dance stuff. Those are two things that I find a lot of inspiration.
And am I hearing that it's something that you're not doing as much as you would like to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, pick one. You want to pick one? Take a little step off the sidelines towards fear. Do you just want to pick one? Multimedia, art, or dance?
Yeah, that's I mean, I've been working on a multimedia project, so I guess I have been doing that, but like, I don't know, maybe with less self-criticism.
Okay, so less self-criticism. Okay, so you're gonna take a slightly new approach to your multimedia art project that you've been working on with some less self-criticism. So what is there a mantra, or is there something that we can have you say? It's almost going to be like meditation, I guess, right? Like if you notice the self-criticism, can we figure out a phrase or something you can do to like release that self-criticism, to love yourself and to support yourself in those moments? Is there something that feels honest for you that you could say?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like feeling. I think when it comes to the art piece, I want to really pursue that feeling of like, kind of doing despite feeling like it's not good, like putting messy shit out there, because I'm not here to be the next like fucking Stanley Kubrick or fucking Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
Right? Like I'm out here just being a lady. And
just being a lady, Emma Online. You're out here to be the next Emma Online. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hell fucking yeah, yes, and. So, okay, so you're going to be you're just going to go for it, is what basically maybe what you say in those moments of self-doubt, in those moments of self-criticism, in the face of, art has to be messy, and we often need other human beings, honestly. Right? Like when I made a one-man show, it was going to be a huge fucking mess. But then I had a friend who had the energy to say, "Can I direct your show for you?" And I had the openness of my energy to say, "Okay, yes, I need to listen to the universe. Someone is coming up to me and saying, I want to connect with you and I want to direct your show." And the show was better for it. And so I would say is maybe we all in the tub, everybody, your cousins in the tub here, maybe we can serve that purpose for you a little bit if you are interested. And so we can say, go for it. We can say, be messy. And so maybe that's just something when we're not there with you, because unfortunately, it's so unfortunate, but we can't be online with you at all times of the day. But maybe you can say to yourself, be messy. And you can say to yourself, go for it.
Yeah.
And you can say to yourself, I'm on a path towards joy. And it doesn't matter if the path is rough. It doesn't matter if the path is smooth. It doesn't matter if the path is easy or if the path is hard. I'm on a path towards joy, and so I'm going to be messy and I'm going to go for it. What do we think about that? Is that something?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And thanks, man, for that perspective. I think there's a lot to where you can go with a mantra like that, so I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Go for it, be messy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you, Emma, thank you. I mean, thank you. Are you kidding my daddy right now? Like, we're just here in a tub, two strangers. And
we're out here in the tub.
We out here in this tub, you know what I mean? Live from Boca Raton, where it's always 69. Sorry I had to do it, but we have to be immature to reach the bros. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Emma, we
I
do
need to
love...
be in the tub.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Two bros chilling in a hot tub, 6 feet apart.
Is that the rule, 6 feet apart? Because it's so awkward when you touch someone else's foot. My friend Lulu, if she's still here in the Substack, we've been in some hot tubs, and it's like you just touch their foot and it's like, oops.
Yeah, a lot. I'm referencing a video too, so I'll throw it in hot tubbing. No, that's where you put your fears. Moment of greeting. I have a really solid video for this where I'm referencing two dudes chilling in a hot tub.
Oh, hell yeah. maybe Lilith could direct us. Maybe put it into community garden for right now.
Okay, I'll delete it where I put it.
Oh my
I
God.
don't have permission.
Yeah. Oh wait, you got to have permission? Lilith,
Yeah.
are you here? I'm not good at technology, and I really rely on Lilith, and I actually feel like I've been relying on Lilith too much, or presuming Lilith's energy to support me too much. And so Lilith, I need you to hear that, and I'm sorry if that's what I'm doing, and I'm so grateful for you, Lilith. Okay, let me see if I can do it, because I'm not a child. I'm an adult who can do things. So you need permission. How do I give you permission? It says everyone. Oh, are you a member yet?
No.
Ah, Nikes. Okay, put it where you put it. Put it in moment of greeting, and I'll put it where I'd want it to be. I'm so sorry. That was me saying some no's. So my friend Lulu is in the Substack chat, and Lulu, I can't wait to download your notes on what you're seeing here. And Lulu mentioned that, you know, if it's okay, Lulu, because you did put it in a public chat, so I think it's okay. Lulu's one of my dear friends. I love her so much. And so she said, it's just like oops. So Lulu has kind of a mantra, which is this oops thing. And it's a way of self-forgiveness for Lulu. And I think when we all create a way of self-forgiveness, we are taking one more step towards joy, you know, because self-forgiveness, the directing of fear within ourselves at ourselves is just, you know, one of the biggest forms of violence that we can perpetuate upon ourselves. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful for everyone who is able to, you know, work on their relationship with fear to a place where they can get to self-forgiveness, because that's the first step. Self-forgiveness, you know, interestingly, because you would think like if someone who perpetuates fear can forgive themselves for perpetuating fear, that maybe they're going to perpetuate more fear. But I think that self-forgiveness is the first step towards, you know, perpetuating less fear in this world. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, Emma. Well, Emma, we love you so much. Emma, I really, you know, my fiance has said I'm not allowed to fall in love with people, you know, who I meet in the tub. And in a totally platonic way, I just love you so much. I'm so grateful for you and your energy. Okay, so I don't know. Should we say, do you have anything else that you want to say while you're here in the tub today?
Well, I guess I just want to spread that love and positivity to the group here. And then I'll be back in chat, man. So you can check me there.
Effin'. Yeah, it's beautiful to be in the tub with our friends and our loved ones, and even people we're just getting to know, because what we do here is we practice the 6 tenets of quality improvisational comedy: open energy, support, commitment, giving, connection, and gratitude. And we listen to people's ideas even if we find it hard to agree with them, although Emma's ideas are very easy to agree with. So Emma, we're so grateful that you were in the tub with us today. We love you. You are a rock star. And just know at all times there are people out there who are supporting you and are lifting you up. And have a wonderful rest of your time here with us today, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And how will you spread fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values today? Yes, I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll just be continuing in chat to support everybody learning that kind of shit. So we'll see about in the text. See ya.
Bye. Emma's so quick too. Like, she was able to, she had already placed this video, you know, like into the channel in the Discord, like instantly. And then when she just said see ya, she left immediately. Like, she was ready. She had her finger hovering over that mouse or whatever it may have been. So incredible. Isn't it beautiful, the community that we're building? I think it is. I mean, I'm biased towards facts and democracy, that is, but I'm also biased towards love and joy. And we love this little emoji that Emma just put in there. And Emma's got a cool little, Emma's put some time into her bio. She's got a cool little image there, and we love that. So Lee, we are wrapping it up. There are 15 more minutes left in today's program. What you are watching is the Megachurch of Joy, brought to you by Rev Deuce. and all of the adherents of the Tub of Joy, Rev Deuce's cousins. We're all cousins in the Tub of Joy. And what we do here is we practice our relationship with fear. We build up a healthy relationship with fear. And we also are fact warriors who know that information is responsible for all of our outcomes and the possibilities for love and joy in this world. And so we push back on the patterns of fear and hate and division that the global authoritarians and oligarchs have created for all of us. And we try as best as we can to convince our MAGA American friends and loved ones that they are listening to propaganda. And I know that's so hard to hear, and it just makes you go, F you, dude. You're listening to propaganda, you dude. And if that's the impulse, I apologize that I caused that energy inside of you, but I ask you to look inside at that energy, and I ask you to ask yourself why someone might say that to you. And you might say, well, let me think about it, because I know that at least for me, because I try to practice these tenets of open energy and listening to the ideas of others, and I have listened to your ideas, MAGA. I have listened to you tell me that all the disinformation comes from the left, but with love and support and energy for your ideas, I do just have to say that when we also are doing improv, we play to the top of our intelligence. And I'm not saying anything about your intelligence. I'm just saying that I've committed my life to being an information nutritionist. That's no joke. I literally think about this shit all day long. You know what I want to tell you? Next week, the Society for Professional Journalists, it is Ethics Week. And boy, do we need ethics journalism more than ever. So I just say that to remind you that I care deeply about this shit, and I'm thinking about it at all times. So Madison has said that it's time for a song, and I think that that's a great way to go out today. So another thing that we do here is we improvise songs based on the suggestion of anything at all, and so we are going to call up the internet machine right now, and we are going to go to our favorite. First of all, we just want to remind people, go to TikTok, and anything that Rev Deuce has reposted on TikTok is for you to repost to the public. Rev Deuce, we can't vet every single thing. You know, we know that, for instance, we know, for instance, that Sam Harris is an Islamophobe. Okay, but things are so bad right now that we cannot be pure. As long as people are speaking persuasive, fact-based arguments to the world, we have to share them. I'm so sorry. It's hard for me especially to do the Sam Harris thing, because he is, for some reason, obsessed with race and Islam. And so I don't know. I feel weird about this one, but I just think because he's kind of manosphere adjacent, that it's important to like show a message that pushes back against Elon's insanity. I don't know. You all can correct me on that if you want to. But like all of these videos, and some of them are sensational, but we just have to push back persuasive, fact-based information that undermines the disinformation propaganda campaign of the right-wing billionaires who are destroying our country and who have half of us rooting for the destruction of our country and the erosion of our rights. It's literally Orwellian shit, and so when Orwellian shit is on our shores, it is time to push back. So go and repost all of these things. I mean, look, I literally reposted Rand Paul, okay? There's no one I could disagree with more. But as long as he is talking about the insanity of these tariffs, and then we cause people to then go on to publicenlightenment.com and they learn even further that these guys are purposefully destroying the government and destroying our economy so that they can enrich themselves and consolidate power, we have to make entry points wherever we can. I don't know. That's what Deuce believes. What do you believe? And then here's a cute video of Rick Steves, the travel guide, leading chants at a hands-off protest. And here's a video of a giant dickhead, Jim Banks, who's been on the Trump support. He's an election liar, and he's saying something awful to a constituent, which is horrible. And so it exposes the cruelty and the meanness. Okay, anyway, so what we need is the suggestion of anything at all, a genre. We need the suggestion of a genre. And I am going to go to we're going to improvise a song for you, Richard Bergman. Richard Bergman, do you have the suggestion? And Denise Kimball and Jill Barrow. So we've had fun today talking about the news. We've had fun today supporting people in their fears and spreading love and joy. We've had fun today talking about being fact warriors. The genre is musical theater. I wonder, what do I type in here to get a musical theater genre? And so we've said a few prayers about how we can, support others. We've said a few prayers about how we can work on our relationship with fear. And we've also talked about being fact warriors every single time we're online and spreading fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values. Show tune. And so another thing we do, because you have to be entertaining when you're talking about the very unsexy world of media reform and our information ecosystem. Sorry, I try to remind myself not to clear my throat.
What will you say about my new pictures today? Featured as fine or for outstanding.
What the hell was that? Okay, that was insane. Music. Let's see. Musical theater? I need to drink more water. I drink so much coffee. My voice has been strained. Musical march? No way. MH3, what's up? MH3, do we know you? Hello, how are you? MH3 has typed into the chat, sup dog. And now look, we follow the energy just like we would if we were on the improv stage. We listen to the ideas of others and we listen to the gifts that others give us. So MH3, do we know you? Have you been here before? So I took a break for 1 second to engage with MH3. But I think that was kind of good. Sometimes these songs don't have they don't have chord changes. That could be like a MH3, what do you want to talk to us about? Are you a MAGA American? Because we would love to connect with you. Or are you a non-MAGA American and we would love to connect with you then? And we'd love to know about your sources of information. Because we are fact warriors here who spread fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values at all times. No way. And right now we're about to improvise a song based on the suggestion of anything at all. That's like a 50s number. But MH3 has said sup dog and then has decided to never say another thing ever again. The suggestion is musical theater or a show tune. I don't know if they really have any good ones. And now, is this going to work? Or does it just keep ascending? Okay, it'll work. All right, it'll work. I'll do like a carousel-esque show tune to this. Okay, so now we just need the suggestion of anything at all from the audience, especially if you are new to the space, if you are on Substack and you do not know what we do here. Besides being fact warriors who spread information that is fact-based, we also improvise songs because this is an improv-based space and we follow the fear, and so we watch as Rev Deuce models what it looks like to follow the fear. So MH3 has just said sup dog, and that is it. But so now we just need the suggestion from Substack or from Twitch or from YouTube. I've drank too much coffee. My heart is racing. Of anything at all. And Rev Deuce is going to improvise it into a song. Isn't that fun for everyone? Sharon Flynn, do you have the suggestion of anything at all? Barbara H., do you have the suggestion of anything at all? We're about to improvise a song and then end today's program. So you can see that what we do here is we talk about being fact warriors and pushing back against disinformation and hate. While also understanding that we must support all Americans, even if they have been tricked by the propaganda stream of information into cheering for the destruction of their country. And so we try to bridge the divide here. But so Barbara H. and Sharon Flynn are shy today, and they are not typing anything into the chat. Have I stopped streaming? What's going on? Why has no one typed into the chat the suggestion of anything at all? Probably Madison's being polite and waiting to see if anyone else chats something. But no one has chatted something, so let it rip. Cat checks. Do you have the suggestion of anything at all? This is a religion based on improv. and also spreading fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values every single time you're online. We are fact warriors here. I am an information nutritionist, your pal Rev Deuce. Please spread all of the public enlightenment articles because I create them so that we can have a better information ecosystem. And you can also go and read everything that's being put out by the Media and Democracy Project. They're doing great work. Okay, Emma wants the song to be about the tub. Pro hot tubbing. Just hot tubbing in general, or the tub of joy? So sorry. I'm so sorry I'm clearing my throat so much. I don't want to gargle coffee. That's the next step. Christina Z, you're arriving just in time. In general, all right. We are improvising a song based on the suggestion of the genre hot tubbing and based on the suggestion of... I'm going to turn off the music. I'm going to turn off the waves. And based on the suggestion of the genre, based on the suggestion of the genre musical theater and of the suggestion of anything at all, and that is being in a hot tub.
Too hot for me, the water's too hot for me. I look up in the sky, what do I see? A beautiful world for me and for you. Oh, but if I get out, I'll be pruned. Oh, too hot for me. The tub is too hot for me. If I ever leave, a prune I will be. Sometimes we run away from our problems in life by going to a tub that's hot, away from all the strife. Oh, but if we ever leave the tub, this is tough. The tub. I have one dream for the world. It's that they all can be relaxing their muscles in all of the tubs for all eternity. I have a dream for the world. It is a tub for you and for me.
I'll admit that one was hard because it kept changing and ascending and descending across minor and major. It was a little difficult for Deuce to maintain some sort of through line, but we did it anyway. We got through the song. We followed the fear. Yes, and. So that's one of the things we do here. This is a religion based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy and the desire to be fact warriors, to push back at all times against the program of fear, hate, division, violence, cruelty, and domination that is being spread by the billionaires who have spent the last 60 years creating an information ecosystem outside of the mainstream. And now, of course, we have criticisms of the mainstream media ecosystem that is a profit-seeking, commercialized corporate system for informing the public. And the world's healthiest democracies, and guess what? We currently are not one here in America, but the world's healthiest democracies fund public media at upwards of $100 per capita. In the United States, we spend a measly $3 per capita on public media, and look outside at the world. We are allowing the right-wing disinformers to attack even the notion of public media, to attack the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which has been diminished over the years by corporate underwriting, and itself has become a normalization program while still also being a source of fact-based information that we can and should rely on. And so we have to push for independent media and nonprofit media in the public interest at all times that is fact-based. There is no such thing as objectivity in journalism. There is no such thing as a lack of bias in journalism. So the only thing that we should be focusing on at all times in our sources of information is, are they fact-based? And do they tell us about their values in their about section? Okay, so sorry. And so I love you, you love me. That is what we do here. We do it every day from 9 to 11 a.m. It is a beautiful space to be. I love you so much. We talked to Emma today about her fears of imposter syndrome. And we said, yes, we love you, Emma, and we are so grateful for hearing your fears. And we had Emma share with us that she embraced her fear, and they were her fears, and she embraced them, which is a thing that we do here. And then we also worked with Emma and spoke with her and listened to her ideas and gently offered our own ideas. And so now we are going to check back in with Emma about her pursuit of her mixed media art project, and she is going to go forward with it and take a step towards embracing fear by saying that when she feels like she is somehow doing something wrong or messing up or not doing it right, when she gets to that point where she's like, this art is messy, she's gonna say, you know what, be messy. She's gonna say, you know what, go for it. And we are gonna support her in that, and we love her so much for being in the tub with us and for being a beautiful being of light. You are a rock star, Emma, supporting your friends and giving them love as best you can, because you also need to be taking care of yourself in this world. And so we say to everyone who is here, we love you, we support you, we want to lift you up, and we want to hear your ideas. So come back tomorrow where we will have the opportunity for you to hop into the Discord chat, or who knows, maybe there will be a Google Voice number just printed right on the screen. Okay? I should have been doing all that in this screen. Now I'll go back to the other screen. Go to publicenlightenment.com, where you can find all kinds of information that you can spread across the universe so that you can get on the program of spreading fact-based information every single time that you are online. Because if you are not doing that when you are online, please get off of the internet. Go for a walk, call a friend, read a friggin' book. Am I right? 50% of us read at a 6th grade level or below. We got to up our literacy game, and we got to up our media literacy game as well, and help Rev Deuce to grow this space, okay? Tell everyone you know about it. And if they can't come live to the live stream, they can absolutely 100p. Are you kidding me? Go to publicenlightenment.com and, share the information. I burp when I live stream. You can also go to publicenlightenment.com on Blue Sky. Get off of Twitter and go to Blue Sky. Hello, Judith Newman and Luna Fair. She, they, welcome. We are so grateful to have you here. Please go to publicenlightenment.com, where if you are looking for the context that we need for the news, and you don't want to wait years to understand the moment that we are in, you can go to the news, which is a list of like 30 newsrooms I've put together that have a bias towards democracy, context, and facts. You can go to diverse opinion, where I've put together voices. This person is a prison abolitionist. That's a diverse opinion. You can go and you can listen to all of these folks. Oliver Willis is very acerbic. Parker Malloy is an incredible media critic who we talked about yesterday, where she covered how legacy journalism was failing to with prominence and frequency, report on the protests of millions of Americans. One of the largest protest days in recent memory was undermined by the reality that our mainstream commercialized system for the press will interview thousands of Trump supporters over the last 10 years, but will downplay protests by everyone who's non-MAGA. And we need to work on our media literacy, and we can grow this community, and we can start to speak back to the mainstream corporate media, and we can work to reform them. It's going to be difficult in this environment with Donald Trump and Brendan Carr, of the head of the FCC, to achieve media reform and regulation, but we need that, and we need to work the refts in reverse. We need to push back on mainstream journalism, because there are plenty of journalists who are good journalists who work for mainstream outlets, who care and obviously report facts and do the work. And we need to lift them up, because they are the bedrock of democracy, but we need to push back against the normalization and the both sidesism and the false equivalency that is daily perpetuated, and the downplaying and omission of workers' rights and the labor movement in this country. So we need to lift up independent and nonprofit journalism everywhere we can. Lunafair, absolutely. Lunafair, if you like what we're doing here, please tell every single person you know about it. I can only do this for like 2 more months before I run out of money, and I need to get a real job. So I need to grow this so that people start giving me little bits of their own money, small dollar donations, and I will continue to shout from the rooftops about our information ecosystem, and we will try to lift all information boats, because all of our problems come from our information. We need media reform for anything issue that you care about. You need to make media reform. You need to make creating a better, healthier information ecosystem your number 1A priority, okay? Robert McChesney recently just passed away. Amazing man who wrote many, many books about our media ecosystem. And he was developing, policy ideas, the Local Journalism Initiative, which was going to fund public and local journalism around the country, okay? And he paraphrased Nicholas Johnson, former FCC commissioner from the 1970s, when he said that no matter your first issue or priority, media reform had better be your close second, because without reform in media, you don't stand a chance, because your issue won't get covered, okay? So we need public interest journalism, reporting in the public interest at all times. We need to be lifting that up. And so one way that you can do that is you can go and you can consult with Rev Deuce's lists that he has created. I guess Oliver Willis and Parker Malloy had a morning where they have been writing a shitload, so they are dominating this diverse opinion feed right now, but I promise you there is a diversity of opinion on here. Parker Malloy is pushing back against people pushing back against paywalls. That is a big debate in media. I'm about to pass out. I've had too much coffee. Love when wealthy elites straight up admit that money corruptly buys political access with Republicans, but not with Democrats. So much for draining the swamp. What do we got here? What is this? I was a mega donor to the Democrats. I could give you a phone call. Return from the White House to save my life. The Trump administration is totally different. There's not a single person there you can't get on the phone and talk to. Weird. Brandon Freeman, political scientists? No. Okay, look, former Obama guy. You may hate American imperialism, but this former Obama guy has interesting perspective, so we try to pay attention to him. He's a fact-based human being who posts online with context. You know what I mean? Fox News is explicitly propaganda, and the New York Times is whatever it is. What do we got? What is he talking about? I think the simple answer is that many reporters and editors don't know how this stuff works any more than Donald Trump does. See, again, though, it's not always going to be perfect, folks, because Donald Trump knows exactly what he's doing. And we will get that perspective from other people in this list. Donald Trump knows exactly what he's doing. He is, he is performing according to what the global authoritarians, the Saudis and the Russians want him to do, what he wants to do to self-enrich, what he and the American oligarchs want him to do to self-enrich and to consolidate power. That's what's happening. You can find all about it at publicenlightenment.com. Okay, Josh Marshall being sarcastic here. Carl Bode, amazing acerbic voice. Really enjoy watching the U.S. government figure out Elon Musk isn't actually very bright a decade after everyone else and 2 years after Kara Swisher. I mean, acerbic shit. So this is just some nice, curious timing. On the same day that a judge ruled that Newsmax defamed Dominion voting systems, setting them up for a massive loss in a jury trial, Trump targeted the law firm that is representing Dominion. That is an important thing to perpetuate that idea, that knowledge that Donald Trump is a corrupt individual who is weaponizing government, that the actual weaponization of government is coming from the MAGA right. There was not a censorship regime under Biden per se. It was a public health crisis, and there's been lots of disinformation spread by people like Mike Benz, who appears on the Joe Rogan program and appears across the manosphere to spread disinformation. The censorship regime are the ones who are banning books. The censorship regime are the ones who are, disappearing, legal permanent residents because they wrote an op-ed, and green card holders because they wrote an op-ed or because they peacefully protested and they practiced the right of free speech that everyone on American soil has. Carl Bode is amazing. Anyway, so this is what you do. This is how you do it, okay? You consult historians. Thomas Zimmer, great historian. Kevin Cruz is a little sensational sometimes, but he is a good historian. What do the historians have to say about our moment? You know what I mean? So you check in on the lists of public enlightenment on Blue Sky. Media critics are incredible. We love media critics. New York Times PitchBot sometimes can't help itself. Mark Koplovich, also a Serbic voice online. Tearing apart this Ross Douthat. Ugh. All right, so we love everybody. It's time for Rev Deuce to go. Just showing you about how you can use these tools to better understand the world. And then, of course, you can also see what Rev Deuce reposts to the actual profile. A Florida teacher lost their job for calling a student by their preferred name. Some Democrats are still, voting along with the Trump picks. Newsmax, huge deal. Newsmax. I mean, we need to expose for MAGA. They can't all be activist judges, right? They can't all be, liberal, communist, Marxist, socialist judges, right? Okay, so hook yourself up to a context-based news stream. I love you, you love me. We are a intergalactic family who is working and fighting for quality information that is a healthy information diet at all times. I'm going to finally, hopefully, finish this Charlie Kirk article, and I need you to spread that everywhere. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. How can you help Rev Deuce monetize? Goodbye. I love you.